Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to week 8, part 2. If you didn't watch part 1, I mean, I don't know if it really would make a difference if you watch this one first before watching the previous one. As long as you watch both of them, it's fine. Okay. Major difference yesterday. I had really greasy hair because I had just ran and it was all, I think it was pretty still sweaty. And today I have some nice washed hair. Yes, so nice. Other than that, not much difference. Okay. So you should still watch the previous one if you have not already. Okay. All right, let's get to it. So today I'm going to continue talking about SA2, what you're doing. I did talk about SA2 in the previous lecture, but I'll still kind of hit it today as well. And the outline, okay. So if we go to week 8, here we have the extra credit assignment that you can do, okay? And then more importantly, we have the SA2 outline, okay? Now, as previously discussed, the SA2 essay, okay, is covering cause and effect, comparison, contrast, and classification writing styles. You need to have a paragraph utilizing each of those, okay? You got to have at least 2 sources quoted. I really think you should have 3, honestly, but I mean, I don't want to jump from one required, one last paper to then 2, I mean, to 3 this paper. So that's why I'm meeting in the middle with 2, but I think 3 is better, but whatever, okay? And I discussed things to help you with a topic, okay? Yesterday, I did a sample outline without sources, just filling it out with using my own personal enjoyment of my outside knowledge of the Grateful Dead. Okay. Now today, what I was thinking about doing though was talking about a current event, a current show, the Menendez Brothers series that is on Netflix right now, put out by Ryan Murphy, and I thought that might be kind of interesting to talk about and to use as sort of my subject for today's lecture as an example. Okay. Um, so you will have to conduct research for your essay. Okay. Now, I think before getting into the research thing, you should sort of maybe flesh out your outline slightly. Okay. So if you go to here and download this, I've actually updated the outline template even from yesterday. Okay. Um, I have here, this is the outline for your essay. Now, here's the thing is that this the second paragraph in your paper doesn't have to be classification. The third paragraph doesn't have to be compare contrast, and the fourth does not have to be cause and effect. You can move these around. But in terms of your outline, I say it's just easier to, in your outline, figure out what you want to say in terms of the classification paragraph. Even though when you type your essay, this might actually become paragraph 4. You might feel like you want to do introduction, and then you want to do cause and effect, and then you want to write about compare contrast, and then you want to write about classification, and then you go into your conclusion. I don't care what order they go in. And if it's easier for you to actually switch it like this, hold on. Oh, this is not. Oh, this is read through. Anyway, bro. Okay, if you want to put this up here, pull this down here. I mean, I don't care. Okay. If you want to change things like that, then go ahead and do that. It doesn't matter to me if you want to, as long as you have a classification paragraph, you have a cause and effect paragraph, you have a compare contrast paragraph. I don't care what order they go in. Okay. All right. So like filling out your outline. Like I said, sometimes I think filling it out first is a good way to go into your research. So I might just go ahead and start it. My fake name, instructor's name, Mr. I'm getting a lot of crazy, weird spellings of my name on your papers. It's B-Y-A-R-S. Okay. People are spelling it like B-R-Y, B-R-Y-A-R-S, Briars. People are doing B-Y-E-R-S, which is actually kind of common. People are doing Bayern. Okay. I've gotten a few Briars. Okay. So my name is Byers, B-Y-A-R-S, just FYI. Okay. English 1101, due date. This is due like, what did I say, the 14th or 13th? Or 13 October 2024. Okay, my outline is I'm doing the Menendez brothers. Is that how you spell it? Let's see. Okay. All right. And so I'm gonna actually title it Monsters because it's actually the Monsters series, the Menendez brothers. Okay. I'm just missing an N. Okay, cool. All right. Thesis statement. I don't know what I necessarily want to say yet. I'm going to say something about how it captures the current state of things, or it might be a symbol for where we are. I don't know yet. Okay. I might just see where it takes me. So sometimes, sometimes we need to work backwards. Sometimes we need to flesh out the essay and then kind of figure out what is our big overarching idea. Okay, so you don't always need to start your outline or your papers with this idea of a thesis. Sometimes you got to see where the research or the information takes you. All right, where does the river flow, sort of thing. Okay, so like for classification, I might talk about this idea of fictionalized true life stories. Okay. There are, versus dramatizations. Maybe like what's the goal of a dramatization of a story. There are verse just what we might call a crime drama. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of work with this. I don't know yet what I want to say. I'm gonna do some research. Okay. Compare contrast. All right, what might I want to do here? Okay, and so maybe I want to talk about how the first monsters oh no, maybe I want to do the compare contrast the real Menendez brothers versus the dramatized version versus actually, or actually, maybe I want to talk about Ryan Murphy, the show creator, versus Ryan Murphy's interpretation. Okay, something, like that. All right, I'm gonna check. Hold on 1 second. I'm all paranoid now about my audio. Okay, it is working. So ever since I recorded that one lecture without audio, I've been super now paranoid. Okay. Cause and effect. I do want to, one thing I found interesting was this reopening of the Menendez's dad new investigation on the father of the real Menendez brothers and his sexual abuse others. Okay. So these are some things that I'm like, I could talk about this cause and effect. And if because this show came on and did it shine light on the Mendez brothers' father that he was a sexual predator, and now there's some evidence suggesting that he also abused some musicians who were his clients, then maybe that will prove that what the Menendez brothers claimed was their sort of motive for killing him would justify would lead to possibly their exoneration or shortening their prison time. I don't know, cause and effect. Now, this is all just stuff. Again, like I'm watching the show, things I'm thinking about, things I've heard, I've kind of come across. I've come across lightly in social media posts, short little things. And so I need to go and actually research and kind of decide if there is any if this is there's enough stuff to write about based upon what I've read. Okay, and based upon the research I conduct, instead of trying to get research that supports this, I might just end up just reading a bunch of research and writings about this show, and that might change the direction that I take in my essay. Okay. All right. So let's talk about research. All right. So figuring out a topic. My topic that I want to write about is sort of a current event dealing with an interpretation and analysis of the new Netflix show Menendez Brothers. And if I'm spoiling it for you, sorry, but the thing about it though is that I don't think that I am spoiling it because the impact of the show, kind of like the one that they did on OJ Simpson. People already know. I mean, we already know. Maybe you don't because you're young. That like the Menendez brothers were accused of killing or were found guilty of killing their parents, and they were sent to prison. And they were rich kids from Hollywood, right? And so me talking about that doesn't really spoil anything. They themselves argued in court that one of the motives was for them killing their parents was that they were being molested by their father. It's kind of out there, so I don't think I'm really spoiling it, but sorry if you're bitter. Okay. So conducting research, okay? The reason we need research is because it really helps us to form our arguments better. Okay. You can make claims like most people own a cell phone these days, but this just sounds unsubstantiated when you instead you can say something like, according to the Pew Research Center, 84% of American adults owned a cell phone in 2011. Okay. So it just comes with a lot more sense of ethos in what you're saying, as in like trustworthiness of what you're saying. All right. So we've got to have research. And research is just information gathered through outside sources, okay, that will help support your main ideas. So sometimes that research is important statistics, sometimes it's technical information, sometimes it's background information, sometimes it's opinion or view of an expert or authority, kind of like critics, people who study this type of stuff, people whose job is to analyze information, all right? And so you got to have sources. And the sources is where this information is coming from, okay? And we can look at online sources and definitely the library database, all right? Anything pulled from Galileo is pretty much considered to be reliable, okay? Library databases are indexed collections of magazine, journal, and newspaper articles that have been checked for accuracy and reliability by publishers and then licensed for distribution online, okay? And so you have access to the college library. This picture though is kind of ominous. It's kind of like she's up to no good, right? I mean, the dark colors, it's almost like secrecy. So maybe I should have chosen a better picture than this one. This seems like she's like, yeah, hacking. Okay. The library databases are more reliable for a lot of reasons. Okay. But sometimes also though they are more difficult to use. They have been purchased by school libraries versus the internet is just free to anyone. Content is evaluated for accuracy and authority, while on the internet, anyone can publish anything they want to the web. Okay, which is why you have to be very careful about which sources online you are using. Okay. Articles are organized in school library databases and indexed by librarians online. And for the internet, there's no official body that oversees anything. Okay. So you have to be very selective in what you choose to use. Okay. Now, I provided steps on how to get to the databases on this PowerPoint if in case for later for a quick guide. But I'm just going to show you. Okay. I mean, we're going to take a pause from there. Okay. This is what my apps look like. Go to the library. Okay. I go to libguides and databases right here. All right. I like there's academic search complete. This one is just look, it says it's the best bet. It's the best bet. I just use this one. And then before I type anything in, okay, go down here and I click on the full text. I don't want to have to try to request it, okay? I do full text. All right. So here I'm gonna type in the Menendez brothers. Oh, look right there. Now it's probably gonna give me also a lot of stuff about, oh, look, oh, cool. The controversy around Netflix's Menendez brothers show. Perfect. I mean, that's exactly what it is I'm talking about here, okay? This is by Lucy Ford from the Times. So let's say, okay, 2,000 words, okay? Here it is. I read this, I read this, I read this. Okay. Now let's just say I read this and I'm like, yes, I like this. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So here we have, I'm just gonna pull a quote that is just I could just throw in there real fast. Okay. All right. Let's just say here, this quote. It's sad for me to know that Netflix's dishonest portrayal of the tragedy surrounding our crime have taken the painful truths several steps backwards, back through time to an era when the prosecution built a narrative. Okay. Let's just say this is, I'm going to use this for my comparison and contrast paragraph. Okay. So I read it. I'm like, oh yeah, this quote right here. I'm going to copy it. All right. I'm going to put my quote from a source here, quote. Okay. All right. I'm going to say that the show is much more dramatic and is dramatic than what happened in real life, and it romanticizes the violence. Okay, blah blah blah, whatever. Okay. And I have a quote, and then from my source, the great thing about using a database like this is that I can go over here to cite, click on it, scroll down to MLA, and here is the citation. Okay. So all I gotta do is copy that, go back to my outline, and paste it there. Now, what I'm gonna do instead, though, I'm gonna paste it in proper formatting. No, hold on. Better yet. Oh, it doesn't do it. Okay, fine. That one's fine. Whatever. You have a long web address and it won't indent. Oh, it did. Okay. There you go. All right. So that's my citation. This is my quote. All right. Change these to singular. Okay. All right, great. All right. And then I can keep reading some other ones. All right. Go back. All right, that's still Lucy Ford. Nope. Oh, the story behind the therapist in the Menendez brothers case. Okay. Maybe I'll read that and I'll find that really interesting. Why it took 3 juries to convict. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff here about and I would read all of them. Okay. I would read as many as I can to get an idea, and it might shape what I want to write about. Okay. I still need cause and effect and classification. All right. So like maybe claims of abuse. All right. Let's just say, or let's see. Okay, why it took 3 juries to convict. Maybe there's a cause and effect here. Maybe there's something here that okay. All right. Well, look. Over the course of the 6-month trial, the defense chipped away at the jurors' sense of horror and appealed to their empathy for two battered boys who can conceive no other way to escape their parents' brutality. Okay, cause and effect. So, copy. Let's say I want to talk about here. So, I originally started talking about how a new investigation on the father of the father, but now though, I don't know if I'm going to use that one. Okay, so maybe that's like option one. Option two, if I can't find anything else, is about how the emphasis of the emotional impacts of the brothers played a major part in why many people were more accepting and forgiving of their crimes. Okay, so the cause and effect of emotion that it had on many people in America. Okay, so one of my quotes, one, okay, two. So my quote for this second claim that I might do is about here. Okay, here, I'll go ahead and cite, go up here and go to cite MLA. Okay. This here. All right. And so, oops, hold on, no, not that one. You gotta make sure you pick the right one. Look, this one has the time in italics, which is the way it's supposed to be. You gotta have the time in italics. All right, people. All right. So maybe I will still go, maybe I can't find some support for this claim. So I end up going with this claim. All right. That's the process. You have an idea, but sometimes the research doesn't let you go that way. All right. Now I could still, let's just say though, I can't find what I'm looking for on the library database. Okay. Library database is not going well for me. Let's just say. All right. So then I can go online to other websites like the New York Times, Vulture, the Atlantic, Slate, the Guardian, the Economist, Forbes, the Washington Times, Psychology Today, New York Magazine. Okay. Do not use Wikipedia, dictionary.com, online encyclopedias / dictionaries.com organizations, Fox News, CNN News. Okay. Medium, quote websites, sources without an author. You don't ever use these websites in your paper. Now, I'm going to show you one thing, though. Wikipedia. Okay. Wikipedia is not a place that you cite, but it is a place that you can begin. Okay. The Menendez brothers show Wikipedia. Okay. All right. So let's say I go here. Okay. All right. And let's say I read something in the controversy on the Wikipedia page, okay, that I find interesting. I might want to, talk about. All right. So like this right here, the ancestral relationship. Okay. Compare and contrast. The ancestral relationship on this show is like way more than like what they were like in real life. Okay. So let's say for my outline here, okay, for comparison and contrast, all right, maybe I want to talk about, instead of this claim, or one part about this, okay, is that the incestual relationship on the show is not necessarily accurate. Okay, all right. So Wikipedia, I'm not going to quote Wikipedia at all. Even though Nicole Vassell from Glamour describes the incestuous portrayal as a jarring addition to a story that's already tough to stomach. Okay, I'm not going to quote Wikipedia, but look though, after this quote, there is this thing which is a citation. Look up here. Okay, this is the link to the article that this was used in. Now, Glamour is a magazine. Glamour is a publication. I'm fine with using Glamour. Okay, there's editors, there's people who proof it. Okay, Glamour, Cosmopolitan, those all have editorial boards. All right, this has an author, Nicole Vassell. All right, the PowerPoint just says, look, you cannot use sources without an author. Okay, Medium is a website that anybody can post on. All right, so these right here are examples of magazines and journals that they all have editorial boards. They all have multiple editors who are fact checking and going over and questioning what's being written. Nobody just writes something and publishes it quickly here. Okay, so same thing with like something like Glamour. All right, so like this article can be quoted and referenced in your paper. Okay, I'm just gonna pick a random quote. Like it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna grab this. Okay, like let's say you want to quote this, copy it, and you're like, I want to use it for the compare contrast relationship here. Okay, quote. Okay, do that. All right, and then you would cite this article, okay, by Nicole Vassell. Vassell is the writer. And all you gotta do is copy this, copy. And if you remember, MLA tab. Let's see. Oh, I thought I put EasyBib here. Maybe it's on the weekly lessons. Nope. Okay. Well, I'm just going to add an EasyBib link. EasyBib.com. And you can create citations, website, put the URL in. It's right here, site, continue. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna have that playing over here. All right. And it's creating my citation. All right, totally. And the thing about it is that, so this came from Wikipedia. I mean, you went to Wikipedia first, but you're not citing Wikipedia. You're citing their source. Now, if there's a quote on here that you like, but there is no reference to it, there is no source to it, then you definitely can't use it, okay? You're not citing Wikipedia. You are looking at their references and you are using their references. You can use any of these references because they all have authors, you know, as long as they have an author, it's fine. All right. Okay. So now this citation is done. It's right here. Copy citation. Go to my outline. And I post it. Okay. Now, if after you're collecting everything, you got to decide what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep. Okay. Don't have anything on your outline that you're not actually going to use. All right. If you're deciding between two things to compare and contrast, you got to decide which one you want to write about. Okay. And then just delete the others. Okay. I don't need you to turn in both of your, you're not going to be talking about both those things in the comparison contrast because you should only have like one comparison contrast. Now, look, though, if you really want to write, if you want to write more paragraphs, as long as you have at least one classification, one comparison contrast, one cause and effect, that's good. Now, you might feel like you want to write two compare and contrast paragraphs. And like if I was writing this paper, I might want to spend a whole paragraph talking about the Menendez brothers' relationship with each other and also about their father. And that's up to you as well. Okay. All right. So that's about that. There is nothing else in this PowerPoint besides that. Okay. I mean, there are some things that you should read about taking notes and stuff. And I've gone over that, I've gone over the citing, the source. Okay. So that's no big deal. But the goal is to have your outline completed with research. All right. And you should try to use the libraries databases for at least some of your research. Okay. Give it a try. All right. I'm going to get back to grading papers. My high school students are completing essay tests. So I need to get your papers done so I can grade all of their writing. Yay. Fun times. All right. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.